Hello and welcome to New Jersey Wedding Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is the podcast for couples in New Jersey planning their wedding. And we are your hosts, Andrea Pertel and Celia Milton, and we are both full-time professional wedding officiants for over a decade
Wow.
here in New Jersey. I know, right?
I know,
And
right? Mm.
well, thanks for joining us. And how's it going with you today, Celia?
It's a beautiful day here. It's not 300 degrees. The
I
dog
know.
is not laying on the bathroom floor because it's the coldest place in the house.
The cold tile. My
Oh,
dog, I have
it's
a tile floor in my office, and so my dog is laying here on top of the tile floor, but that's his go-to place in the heat. And we just came off the heat of
oh
this weekend was pretty hot. They had the heat advisories and that, we didn't even talk about mentioning this, but obviously, when you're having outdoor weddings, it's not just the rain that you have to be prepared to move
no, not at
indoors
all.
for. Be prepared to move indoors for excessive heat and
Excessive heat.
excessive wind.
Oh yeah, that's true. You have a lot of that.
Yeah.
It's the thing is that, these couples spend so much time planning like beautiful decor and hopefully a fabulous ceremony. And if you're sitting out there, people forget that like the ceremony might only be, 18, 20 minutes long, but you've got a processional, you've got a recessional. They're going to get people out there to be seated. There are some people who are going to come and just go out there and sit. They're out there for a long time. And
Yeah.
if it's really hot, one of my colleagues was saying they had a wedding this weekend. They had humongous fans, like smart car sized fans, and little fans on everybody's seats and cold towels and whatever. It's like your people are going to be miserable and they will not listen to one word that we say. The only word that they're waiting to hear is vows because that means it's almost over.
Right.
So,
Right. Right.
go and take your pictures out there and do it. But if there's a
Right.
beautiful space for inside, do it inside, you
Yeah,
know,
you can
you
have the
know.
best of both worlds. You can have your pictures
Absolutely.
outside and then the ceremony inside. Don't do that to your guests. You have to be aware of all weather conditions and you have to happily move them
Yeah.
inside
We don't want to
without
watch your
being
makeup
upset.
like rolling down your face. Like I can watch
Yeah.
the eyeliner dissolving as I'm speaking, and there's
Right.
just and most of the places I'm thinking of have beautiful inside spaces. Many of them,
Of
like
course.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking of Rock Island. Rock Island inside is just like outside. You've got the same view as you would have outside. Um,
Exactly,
you know,
exactly. Another thing this weekend, although I started on Thursday, I was out on the beach for a little elopement and all, but something's come up a couple of times that I think is worth mentioning as an officiant.
mm,
One of the real benefits of having a professional officiant is the legal end of the ceremony, and that is the marriage license. We can guide you on how to get your marriage license, but also afterwards, what people don't realize is the clerks in New Jersey, they have some leeway to make up their own rules as applied to their office.
that's right. With their
Obviously,
yeah.
yeah, they have to follow the 72-hour wait and things like that. Of course, we've talked about, military waiving and things like
Yes.
that, but this is beyond that. For their office and their work, they have this leeway. They really do, and it's something that we have to roll with. For instance, some clerks will, if it's on a weekday and their office is open, um, you can get your marriage certificate right then and there, right after your marriage. So if I do a Thursday elopement at 11 in the morning, we can
Mhm.
walk over to the clerk's office together and she'll give you your certificate right then and there. Others
Yep.
will not do that. I know one in some town that requires a 48-hour wait. I don't know what the other end of her job is, why she makes up that rule, but it's a rule that works for her. Um,
Um,
there's other ones, like when applying for your license. So you live near some very busy towns.
Right. Yeah. There are some towns that you have to have 6 to 8 in season, 6 to 8 weeks to even get an appointment. And these the That's inherently not problematic. The problematic thing is that if you go online to figure out how do I get a wedding license in New Jersey, these nuanced things are not going to show up there. It's going to be
Exactly.
the standard thing. You go in, like you can just wander in. It's like you go in with the two of you, with your ID, with a person, and 28 bucks. Even the 28 bucks is different. Some of our clerks take
Oh,
only cash. Some
right,
of them take only a credit card or a check. So,
right.
you only want to go there once, and plus you have to bring somebody with you. So, you only want them to go there once.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a pain point for people. Call your clerk early, find out what the deal is, tell them exactly what your ID is like, and they'll tell you you can come here or you need to go elsewhere. And
Yeah.
it doesn't have it's only a pain point when it's at the last minute, like
Right.
just other things that are pain points. You know?
In New Jersey, getting you have to go back or do it through the mail for your marriage certificate. No,
Right.
your officiant cannot get that for you. The clerk, I mean, the couple has to, after their wedding, they can do it when they get home from their honeymoon, or they can do it, within, I always say 3 to 5 business days, unless you
Yeah.
need to get it right away. Maybe you need medical insurance. Maybe there's something there, some reason you need to get it right away.
Right.
And you know what? The benefit of having a professional officiant is we can guide you in that. Oh, really? You need to get this right away because you have to be covered with medical insurance, or you're buying a house
Right.
and your mortgage will be cheaper if you're both on it, or whatever the situation may be. You
Hmm.
need it right away. Um, I can guide you in what town is best to do that in, because some
Absolutely.
towns aren't as busy and some clerks are able,
Yeah.
they'll just do it. And so, and I can pave the way. I'll call the clerk first, because we have relationships with a lot of
Right.
clerks. We've worked with them for many years, and it's like, hey, Dana, I've got a couple that needs it. Should be, that's
Yeah.
fine. Let's do it on Wednesday.
Let's
They
do
can
it.
come walk right in, and we can coordinate that. And we know
Yeah.
the different nuances of different towns and their rules. And if we don't know them by heart, as a professional, we can
We're
call
going to
and
find out.
find
Yeah.
out and find out how we can work with them. I'm ready to work with them. That's just part of our job,
Yeah.
working with their rules and their way of doing things, whether it's applying for the marriage license or getting the marriage certificate afterwards.
Well,
And it's great to know that. And I keep, I'm sure you do too. I have a little file with notes on
I do too.
every town. Let me
Well, and
look that up.
there are a lot of places, in New Jersey that you think they're in one town and they really aren't.
Right.
One of their venue, like if you're inside, you're in one town. If you're outside, you're in another, which,
Right.
it doesn't become a humongous deal if you got your license in New Jersey, you can use it anywhere. But, we kind of have to know where you actually are. And,
Right.
it's a detail that, is your cousin going to bother to find out? Probably not. But, we know because
Right.
we probably
Exactly.
learned the hard way at some point, but we know now.
And we're available should there be a correction. We,
Yeah.
like I said, part of our job is is to work with the clerks in a friendly, professional manner. So, like I said, whatever your rules are, I'm here to work with you on them, and let's see what we can do for this couple, and done right, most clerks are, we can all make it work. So, yeah, that's the knowledge behind that is so important. And I think that's an important thing to know about that. Um,
Just
s-
it just makes it easier.
yeah.
And speaking of making it easier,
Yeah.
you see what I did there? See what
Yeah.
I did? A smooth segue. We we have Sarah Carroll from as a guest today. She's from a wonderful company that Small Shindigs, that she has something that I have never actually seen before. She's got like a turnkey backyard wedding package, which
Right.
is like so fun. I just like love that. It's like, here you go. You have a great efficient, that would be you in most cases, a great efficient. You have, here's food, flowers, we got a photographer, we got everything for you. And it just takes all that thought out of it. It's like you're still going to have a thought. It's like, well, we want purple flowers instead of yellow, but you don't have to have every thought. Isn't that great?
I love that. Her Her company, Small Shindigs, my favorite package that she offers is that backyard wedding. It's the all that you're speaking of. It's the all-inclusive package special for micro weddings between 10 to 25 people.
I love it.
And she handles everything. She says that, you know, we bring the tiny wedding right to your
Mhm.
backyard. And what is included, and she spells it out right there on her website. It includes planning services. She says she's that with you every step of the way. She
Yep.
oversees the setup and the breakdown, and she coordinates everything. She gets the officiant. If it's in my area, it's me. If it's in your area, it's you. She does florals. She has a florist she works with, and
Mhm.
she breaks it down what you get, how many, you know, the bouquet, boutonnieres, and all of that, and the table decor for your seated meal. The photographer, she also breaks it down. It includes 3 hours of photography and how many portraits and all of that. And the catering, she works with a specific caterer, and she then gives you the catering options. So obviously you can choose from these specific menus what you want. So it's not
Yeah.
overwhelming. And then she goes on and, you know, she'll talk about each of her, introduces you kind of on her website to each of her vendors that she uses. She
I
does
like it.
also offer some add-ons to this package if you want to add on hair and makeup or additional flowers or additional photography or an acoustic musician, lounge furniture, or tent rentals. So I like the way she has it all spelled out. She has the price, it's up to
Yeah.
25 people. It is an elegant, beautiful, like something out of a movie wedding, an
Yeah.
intentional design wedding for your backyard of 25 people.
I
Beautiful.
love that. I can't think of a better way to honestly do that. And I feel we talked about this before. I feel like, people they get like bogged down in like what is the actual color of the tablecloth and what are the calligraphy on the place cards. It's like, you know what? Nobody is going to leave your wedding thinking, well, if it was just a little bit more green, it would be great. That tablecloth, it just like ruined everything for me. It's, they're going to know if you have, great food and a nice atmosphere and a great ceremony, of course. They're
Right.
going to have like an overall feeling of just being taken care of and having a really fabulous time that felt like your wedding. It
Yeah.
doesn't feel like you were just like slapped into the wedding that's done every single weekend. It's like it's your wedding. And
Yeah.
that's an overall thing. That's not I mean, listen, we love details. Details are great, but people get so caught up in like that specific tone of rose. It's like it's not going to make a difference.
Right.
Just it's going to make you crazy, and you're going to think it makes everybody else crazy, but nobody cares about it.
Right, right. I just love this. I love this for that elegant upscale experience for
Yeah.
25 people, taking the stress off of you. Sarah is great at what she does. This package is, it's just, it's a genius
It sounds
idea.
great.
It
Yeah, it
is
really is. It really.
fabulous.
Yeah.
I have done them for her. I've officiated them, and it's fabulous. I love it. I love
I
it.
love it.
I think she offers other services as well, but that to me is, I don't know anybody else that has this specific package all planned out like that.
Right. Well, and
And
I think, we talk about teams all the time. And I think one
Mhm.
of the things that was really appealing, because I honestly, I'd never even heard of her until you introduced me to her. And I think one of the appealing things is that, every planner is going to tell you they can find you your food or your tables or us. And, and that's absolutely true. They can. But what I find really appealing about the way she's packaged this and presented it is like, I'm working with people that I know and love, and I know they're going to do great work for you, and we work together all the time, and that is really priceless.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. I think that everyone will enjoy looking at the photos of her
Oh yeah, the
backyard
photos are
wedding
great.
on
Hmm.
smallshindigs.com. And I think you're going to enjoy this upcoming um,
Yeah.
interview. So hang on, folks. Stay tuned and listen to the interview.
Okay.
All right. Want to get married without the stress of a big wedding? Looking for a ceremony that's all about the two of you? Or maybe you just can't wait to say I do. New Jersey Elope can make your dream of an intimate and unforgettable wedding day a reality. Picture this: exchanging vows with the sand between your toes on a beautiful beach, saying I do surrounded by nature in a serene park, or celebrating your love under the elegant arch in my cozy office. So, whether you crave the coastal breeze, the charm of the outdoors, or a private, hassle free setting, we have the perfect elopement ceremony for you. Visit NewJerseyElope.com and start planning your dream wedding today. New Jersey Elope, where your love story begins.
We are so excited this morning. Well, first of all, because it's not 147 degrees in New Jersey, but we're very excited that we have Sarah Carroll, the owner of Small Shindigs. And her mission statement says that she supports fun-loving couples in creating intimate wedding celebrations filled with a meaningful connection. That is a mouthful, but I think to have that happen beautifully and gracefully and without you actually having to order the teaspoons yourself, you get somebody like Sarah. Um, Creative planning, connecting with couples that I personally agree with you, Sarah. I think that smaller weddings you can really have that opportunity to express yourselves in ways that you might not be able to do if you had something very large. Sarah, I can tell you that we share a love for small shindigs and for Negronis too. And we're looking forward to talking with you today. So tell us your small story. We're all excited to hear about you.
Yeah, so I have been in the event industry for my whole career. I started out on the venue side and I've sort of had lots of different roles within the world of events. And about 6 years ago, I started Small Shindigs, and from the very beginning was focusing on small and intimate. I was thinking about the types of events that I enjoy attending. And really, those are always with my closest friends and family. So it really does come up from a place of genuine passion. And um, started out in San Francisco, where I used to live, moved to the East Coast, and have been doing intimate weddings under 100 people in New York and New Jersey for the past, let's say, 4 years, I think now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
I know that you have different packages that range from full service, partial planning, management. My favorite of your packages, although we'll talk about all of them, is your backyard weddings and the all-inclusive package, because um, worked one with you. You contacted me, and I was involved in one with you, and it was absolutely beautiful. I really, saw firsthand how you can elevate a backyard wedding, these small shindigs, a small backyard gathering, um, does not mean that you're missing anything. In fact, it was more elevated. It was beautiful. It had
Mm.
everything. And it was, so if you think of like, oh, I'm only going to have 20 people or 30 people and it's going to be in the backyard, but you think that you might be able to do that yourself, or but you don't want to. I mean, it's your day, it's your wedding day, or even if it's at your parents' house, they want to enjoy the day too. And to have somebody come in there with this all-inclusive package that has all the vendors and designed, it was just beautiful. It was beautiful, elevated, and perfect.
Yeah, it really was a beautiful day. And I totally agree. I think that, um, the reason couples want to have backyard weddings is because more often than not, it's their own family's home, and it
Mhm.
has meaning, and it's maybe somewhere they grew up, and it just holds a special place in their hearts. But a house is not an event space, and there are a lot of moving pieces, and we're kind of essentially building a venue where one doesn't exist.
Right.
So I think that it's very helpful to have someone who is, familiar with the landscape and what it takes to kind of, again, like create a venue from scratch and make the event feel like it's really a unique day and not, a barbecue or a dinner they would
Yeah,
be
totally.
themselves on another day of the year.
Right,
Totally.
right.
We talk quite a bit about like the things that people wouldn't think about, if you're having 20 people for a barbecue, but now it's your wedding and you need teaspoons and somebody's got to order them and it shouldn't be like we talk about like Father of the Bride, famous movie. I think it's been remade like 8 times. It's like you need somebody like Sarah, or there's going to be something missing or something not right, or there's not going to be enough chairs. Something is going to go like haywire. And, at a backyard barbecue, it's not a big deal, but it's your wedding and it is a big deal.
Yeah, and I think that, kind of a common misconception with smaller weddings and certainly backyard weddings is that people are doing it to kind of like cut corners and, um, do something inexpensively, which
Yeah.
of course can be the case, but a lot of times it's actually the opposite. And you want the day to feel like intentionally designed and
Yeah.
have food there that you wouldn't normally have. So yes, that requires rentals and working with the caterer and, other things people don't think about, like restroom trailers and kind of the
Yes,
like
we
not
talk about that a lot.
stuff.
We do.
I love that, intentionally designed. I like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, having been a caterer for many, many, many backyard weddings, um, your 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 take on the cost is spot on. But I don't really think that most people look at backyard weddings as a cost cutting alternative. It's more of a sentimental opportunity and a place to have something meaningful that is already meaningful. And but you don't want to do that. Trust me, you do not want to do that yourself. You do.
Yes.
You need a pro. You just do. And
And couples are also, I think it's more so since COVID, maybe, or at least it seems like that to me, are choosing to have more intimate weddings at venues as well. And many venues have opened up to smaller, um, parties. You don't have to have 150 people as the minimum. There are a lot of smaller venues to have the intimate weddings as
yeah.
well, and to have somebody design and carry out all of that is important too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely think that there were venues that hadn't previously allowed a smaller guest count, now offer that and maybe even are using their own spaces more creatively. Maybe there are spaces on the property that they hadn't previously had events and now they're doing that. So I definitely think a silver lining to come out of COVID is that, it sort of gave both couples and venues like permission to have smaller events.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like for a lot of people, we talk to a lot of photographers, and something we hear over and over again is, how they can make their couples feel not so self-conscious being the center of attention. And, we hear that over and over again. It's like, well, we don't want to be the center of attention. Well, that's kind of like unavoidable. But, being the center of attention with 20 or 30 of the people that you love the most, that you feel comfortable with, that love you back, and not, who are those other 100 people? I think that really has become something that's important to a lot of our couples. And a perfect way to do that is having a smaller venue, maybe a rental venue, or your own home. How great is that? It's like, of course it's a comfortable place, especially if somebody else is managing the ice, right?
Yeah, and that's going to show in
And
your
I
photos.
totally agree. I think that layer of anxiety is, of course, it's an adrenaline filled day anyway you slice it, even when it's small. But I think when you're really surrounding yourself with your absolute closest family and friends, it does feel more comfortable for people who, most of us are not used to being all eyes on us for an entire day. So I completely get it. I mean, I felt the same on my wedding day, and I do this for a living. But I think that having a very, very small group, and then yes, like an even step further to have it in a space that you feel extremely comfortable,
Yeah.
really
So
make the day feel good.
out of your different packages, the all-inclusive one, what does that mean? What does it include?
Yeah, so the all-inclusive backyard wedding package is really designed for couples who want to have a backyard wedding and want it to feel unique and special. So it's definitely not meant to be, cookie cutter. You have absolutely no say in anything and everything's, you know, dropped in front of you and you have to say yes to it. But it is definitely meant to take a lot of the heavy lifting off of couples' plates and um, help ease a lot of the planning for them and kind of just give people, some people do well with fewer choices. So
Mm-hmm.
that works very well for some people. So
That's
for
so
the
true.
all-inclusive backyard wedding, there's an officiant, of course. There's photography, some light florals, of course, full service planning, and then catering. And within catering, there's also some different options too. And even with the florals, again, it's not like surprise, you'll see what you get on the day of. There's definitely some input, but it is a bit more, we're going to work with what's seasonal. There's a little bit more of a restriction than if you were to go with like a full service package where, if you had a specific flower in mind, then we could ship it in and it's, sky's the limit. And then sort of outside of that would be the rental component. Some people do have quite a bit of furniture in their house. Sometimes, more often than not, we are still bringing rentals and maybe some other elements as well. But a lot of the bigger pieces are included and sort of taken care of off the bat.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Bye.
And then the wedding management, I like the name of that package because that, people talk of, a lot of times it's called day of coordinator, but that is, I mean, there's no such thing. Right? It
Yeah.
always starts in advance.
Yes.
And, so, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I love,
Go ahead. Go ahead,
no,
Celia.
I just like was scrolling through the backyard wedding package on your website, and it's like, I love it because it sounds like so easy. It's like, this is what you need. You need planning, you need an officiant, you need, it's like everything is right there. It's like you could call you and be like, okay, this is the date, come on down. It's
Yeah,
perfect.
and that's really what it is. It's meant to feel like, oh, okay, this is like it's all right in front of me. And then of course there are absolutely additions that you could add on and again, like put your own spin on it, but it's definitely meant to feel like approachable for people.
Yeah.
Um, and
Yeah.
yeah, and I love it. I mean, I've always loved backyard weddings. For me, it's really just making sure that couples are going in eyes open to what that looks like. Because even for an intimate backyard wedding where it's more inclusive and you have someone on site helping you out, it's still, there are still a lot of moving pieces. So it's just important that people understand what that looks like.
Yeah.
For a 15 or 20 person wedding, we may not be bringing in um, restroom trailers and like building a kitchen outside. But
Mhm.
if we're going to have 50 or 75 people in your backyard, we may need to bring in some additional equipment. And we just need to make sure that, like, A, your backyard has the capacity to handle that, and B,
Mhm.
that you understand what that's going to look like. It may mean like kind of a multi-day setup situation. So
Right.
if you're having that at your parents' house, everyone just needs to be aware and be on the same page.
I think it's great to have somebody who thinks about the things that you don't think about, and that would be you. Yeah.
Yes. Definitely.
What is your most popular package right now? Or are they all kind of booking the same?
No, I would say that most of my clients either go with full service planning, and that's really the most comprehensive. That's, we're working together from the moment you sign a contract through to the end of the wedding day. And I am doing all vendor sourcing, and we go through the venue search process together. Design is involved in that. And then wedding management. And I would say it's pretty split between those two. Partial planning, it is something I offer. It's not as popular. I think that people really feel like they either need a whole lot of planning or they have a good handle on it and really need someone for the final stretch. And yes, I think like kind of to go back to what you mentioned earlier, true day of coordination does not really exist. It would be impossible for someone
That's
to
crazy. I know.
just walk in
Where did they
on the
come up with
day of
that
the
term?
wedding and feel like they had a good handle on everything. So the wedding management piece really involves all of the logistics leading up to, and then does of course include the day of, but I am stepping in closer to the 2 month out mark and introducing myself to all vendors as point of contact from that point forward, tying up any loose ends and getting any outstanding information that's owed. I also go do a final walkthrough with my clients at that point, even if it's a venue that I've worked with many times before. I never want the day of the wedding to be the first time that we are seeing
Yeah.
this together. So
Yeah.
it's definitely, it's not as comprehensive in the sense of sourcing all vendors, but it is definitely still comprehensive with pulling together all of the details for the day and then the on-site support on the day of.
I think what's really important, and you've alluded to this a few times, is that you work with the team, and we talk about this all the time about, us becoming your wedding team and how much we love working with people that we know and people we've worked with before, because there's an intuition about it. It's like you've done 40 weddings with Andrea, or, how do you say that? You're a caterer. How
A
is it?
hot feast.
Oh God, I could never say that. And I was a caterer and I could still never say it. But you have a communication with these people that is kind of built in. And I think that that's really important. That makes things go so much more smoothly. You all know, what it's like to work with each other. And I think for your clients in an off-premise space, in a backyard, in a park, whatever, it really does make it feel as coordinated as it would be if they were at a venue.
Yeah.
100%. I totally, I mean, having a vendor team that works well together makes a huge difference in, how the day runs. And I think, um, a huge piece of that is everyone communicating beforehand. And that a big part of my job is pulling together all of those details and making sure that they're distributed to everyone who needs them so that there's no major questions on the day of,
Right.
what goes where and who's showing up when.
Right, right.
I-
What the heck is going on?
Yeah.
Your photo gallery is beautiful, and on your website, which I'll tell our listeners is smallshindigs.com. We will be putting links to smallshindigs.com's website, as well as their Instagram site, on our social media sites, so that you can click on them and go right to them and check out her website, check out all of her photographs from her beautiful weddings. One thing that you notice as you're looking through your gallery, that you are well versed in any kind of ceremony, putting together something, whether it is cultural or different religions. I see pictures of traditional Indian weddings or Jewish ceremonies with the huppah, and so all different kinds, you know, rustic or real beautiful modern city ones. So it's quite beautiful. Tell me, how far out are you booking right now? Do you have any open dates for 2024, or are you in 2025 and beyond?
Yeah, so I do have a few open dates towards the very end of the year for 2024. And, I definitely think most of my clients like to have some sort of outdoor component. I think that, of course, no one has the exact same aesthetic, but I definitely find that a lot of the couples that contact me have a love for nature and
Uh-huh.
like that sort of outdoor piece with a solid, rain plan, whether that's indoors or a tent. But that kind of takes away a lot of the winter months. But I do have some availability towards the end of this year, and then really I'm definitely getting a lot of um interest in 2025 now. So I think for smaller weddings, I've always found that, this isn't the case 100% across the board, but
Mm,
people are planning on slightly shorter timelines,
very
whereas
short. We're
like
still talking about August.
a 200 person wedding, a lot of times people are booking their venue 2 years or 18 months out. And most of my clients are in like the year to maybe just under that mark.
Right. Right. So if somebody's thinking about doing a small shindig in their backyard, you might still have some availability for this year. So they should contact you. And again, it's smallshindigs.com. We will be putting the links on all of our social media sites. So before we close out, anything else, anything you'd like our listeners that are planning their ceremony to know about small shindigs, Sarah?
I think that I really just want people to feel excited about planning their wedding. I think I get a lot of
Mhm.
inquiries where people are like super confused and don't know where to start and have kind of already iterated. I get a lot of people saying, like, we had a larger guest list and now we're trying to pare it down, and we have, families on either side sharing
Yeah.
their opinions. And I think that the most important thing that I tell clients that I work with is, like, this day, of course, it involves other people, but it really is about you two, and it has to feel authentic and good to you. If it doesn't, and you're trying to only please everyone else, you're not going to feel your happiest. So that's like, those are kind of like my parting
Exactly.
words. It has to feel like it's genuine to the two of
Yeah.
you.
Has
Well
to feel like
said.
it's yours. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think in a smaller group of people, I think that's even more important because those people know you.
Yes.
No,
Right.
they
They're
know
gonna
that,
know if
you know,
it's not
they're
you.
gonna know if it's like, oh, we did that because we saw it on Pinterest. It's like, what is that about? No, it's I think you can't get away with a lot of that when you have a small group of people. So it's really good to have somebody that can help you express yourself in the concrete ways that come across as like, wow, that is so them.
What a great feeling when a couple contacts you and they say, we're feeling overwhelmed or confused. We don't know how to do this. This is what we want. Where do we begin? And you can be like, all right, we're going to make this about you. Let's talk and I can guide you. And you take that stress off of them. I think that's like a fabulous feeling.
Yeah, I mean, one of the best feelings I have coming out of a call at the end is when, even if it's an initial call and the couple says, "Oh my God, we feel," like, you kind of like hear the sigh of relief. We feel so much
Yeah,
better
yeah.
already. And that's why I love what I do.
It's
Right.
so true. It's
Yeah.
it's it's a great feeling to just to go into your wedding day feeling that you're going to have a good time. Like everything is done, everything's taken care of. It feels like nothing weird or bizarre is going to, well, something weird or bizarre is going to happen, but but sometimes that's just the fun part too. But
Right. You're
having that
ready
like,
for it. You're like,
yeah,
everything's done. You don't feel like you're working on the day of your wedding, and you can
right.
just enjoy it.
Yeah,
Right.
it's great. It's a great feeling. Oh, that's terrific.
Sarah, thank you for joining us today. It's Sarah Carroll of Small Shindigs. And, I hope to see you this wedding season or beyond. And thank you so much for joining us
Yeah,
today.
my pleasure. Thank you both for including me.
It's lots of fun. Lots of fun on a Monday.
All right.
Have a great one.
All
You
right.
too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
This podcast is brought to you by New Jersey wedding officiant Andrea Pertel, owner of For This Joyous Occasion Officiating Services.
And Celia Milton, owner of NJ Vows Now, also New Jersey wedding officiating services. We're up in North Jersey, and Andrea is down in Central and South Jersey. So together we cover the whole state, don't we?
Yes, yes.